Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to Beyond the Summit coverage. We're here at Shanghai Dota 2 Open Season 2. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by Eosin. Eosin, we saw some shenanigans in the last game. I totally did not expect, well, spoiler alert, to see Newbee win with it, but how are you feeling after that game? Are you still in shock? Have we recovered a little bit?
Reserve time.
Hello? Are you still there with me? Have you died?
Oh, sorry. No, I'm good. I'm good. I was saying, I'm perfectly fine because I've been watching this kind of stuff for like the last week, maybe a week, maybe like a week and a half or something. I mean, this is like the new and refined Chinese Dota. I don't know if you've been watching some of like LGD's games and stuff like that, but it is just nonstop action every game.
Right. I haven't been able to watch a ton of them. I watched a lot of Chinese Dota before TI, and you think that it looks pretty different from how it looked at that point?
I think it is a little different. It's a lot more.
10 seconds.
I wouldn't say like it looks refined, but I think it is refined. It's just a lot more chaotic looking.
Remaining.
Okay, I think that for me at least, a lot of the reason that we saw that last game was because of that IO pick, which is going to be banned out now in the second phase, and Vici Gaming are also going to be taking the ET for themselves. Do you think that if we did have without that IO, it would still be that type of chaotic style? Is that what you're saying Chinese Dota has kind of evolved into?
I think like everyone just kind of understands what needs to be done, like more or less now, and both teams just understood, okay, we just have to get something done here or get something done there, and because of that, like both sides are just running at each other, trying to secure like a better advantage for themselves entering like the later stages of the game.
Well, we'll see if that's something that they can do now. As we have already started out draft, Drow Ranger going to be picked up for Newbee. That was the second pick overall, with Vici Gaming taking the Bat Rider, who was, I think, banned out in the earlier phases, as the OD was actually banned out as well. So they're going to take the Invoker for themselves. We saw some pretty special stuff come out from SC at MDL with that Invoker. Did you happen to see the end of the game where he was playing it?
I actually missed this game, but I did hear a lot of good things about it.
It was
yeah, tell me about it.
Well, like, it was just about a 2-minute long series of events where at the very end of the game, obviously, end of the game Invoker, it's going to look flashy no matter what. He's got all of his items, he's got his farm, you can do a lot of things with this hero, but it was the movement, like his it always felt like, I don't know, have you ever like had a treat for a dog or something, and you're sort of holding it in front of your dog and you want the dog to eat it, and then it's sort of just holding it right out of range? It always felt like the Invoker was just almost able to get killed, and he kept on baiting them out over and over again, and just played so spectacularly. I'm gonna stop gushing over him, I promise, but it was the biggest thing to me that felt strong about SC's play in that game was his positioning, and really cool to watch.
Well, this game is going to be pretty good for him because playing Invoker with a Drow Aura is always such a breeze. It's so hard to deal with in lane, and I feel so bad for Ghost because he has to deal with this twice in a row.
I know, that's rough. Yeah, the earlier stages there was definitely a problem, and he did end up getting kind of hurt, especially because he was playing Quas Wex into a Drow Ranger aura, but I feel like he held his own okay. He got his farm, and that wasn't like he was completely dumpstered by it.
Oh yeah, for sure. He recovered like very well. It just kind of sucks because when you go Quas Wex, you don't exactly want that 1 point of Exort, but you kind of have to when you're going up against an OD with Drow Aura. It's like the only way you're going to get anything out of that lane.
Right. Well, it does look now as the pick is still taking a while for Vici Gaming. It looks like this is a pretty big departure from what they ran last time, I will say. Witch Doctor's taken for them as well. He made a couple of key contributions for Newbee in the last game. I think the big Chronosphere that came out at the end was pretty telling of what he was capable of doing. And they're actually just going to take an Alch for themselves. What do you think about that matchup, the Voker versus Alchemist mid?
It's pretty rough for an Alchemist. You just do your Alchemist things, you drop your acid, you try to farm the best you can. But that doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, you're an Alchemist, right? Your team is going to be stacking for you. You just get your level 5 or something like that, go into the jungle, drop acid, start farming like crazy. So, I mean, I really like this the style that Vici is coming up with to deal with the Drow Ranger strat. You just get on top of her.
Radiant team pick.
Run at her, all these melee heroes, Bad Rider, just don't give her the space she needs. And if you're on top of her, she doesn't get, you know, the full agility bonus, and no one really does as much damage as they should be.
Well, and I mean, Alchemist obviously is capable of just running at people pretty well, but Gyrocopter is going to be the last pick. Tell me what you're thinking about this guy.
I mean, I really like Gyro. I guess this is their plan to win the early game. I feel like Gyro is still really, really good when it comes to the early game engagements. Like Call Down, Flag, Rocket Barrage, all this stuff is incredibly strong still.
You know what this might also mean? This could potentially be the first game of Dota 2 where we see a Gyrocopter with Ags in professional Dota.
That's true. Oh. This is the only... I think I've discussed this before, and I was like, this is the only situation you ever get Ags on Gyrocopter, is when an Alchemist gives it to you. So we're going to have to see how late this goes.
Do you like that as a thing? Like, I don't know.
I mean, if it gets that late, I mean, why not, right? You might as well give it to them. I mean, the only downside to it is like your ET might stomp someone, set up the whole team, and then all of a sudden your side gunner shoots someone, and you're like, oh crap, they can get away now.
I guess we're not probably going to be seeing the Alchemist rushing the Gyrocopter, the Ags, though, right? It's going to be like...
No, he's going to get all of his items. This is going to be like a 60-minute thing if you're going to see one.
All right, well, the last pick, Phoenix... I'm hoping for it. I don't want to be a biased caster, but there's certain things you just want to see occasionally in casting, and this would be one of them that could definitely be really cool. But the last pick, Phoenix, for Kaka, another hero that he played a whole heck of a lot before TI. I think he just really likes this hero. What do you think about this draft for them? I mean, good Roche taking potential. What do they need to be worried about?
For Newbee?
Yeah.
Well, you kind of want to not let this Alchemist get out of control. You have to keep those Alchemists in check, and then you have to also kind of, you're playing a Drow strat. You have to take objectives early on before Vici gets up all of their initiating tools like normal. Like, I feel like the way Vici plays against this is like they're very used to playing against Drows, and Yang just drafts himself like all these kind of heroes that just dismantles it. So we're just gonna have to focus on Yang, I feel.
Okay, so Yang is the big one that are you concerned about him in this game, or do you think it's just that like him getting stuff is very important for Vici in general? Him getting this far.
I'm actually kind of worried about him, and I also think that he does have to do a lot for Vici. And the reason why I'm worried for him is because you have an Alch on your team, which means that access that you kind of the access to the jungle that you kind of want for your Bad Rider, you kind of have to give it to your Alchemist, I feel. Unless they decide not to, then it's like it's okay, right? They stack for the Bat instead. But normally when you have an Alch on your team, it goes to the Alchemist because you just get more gold compared to Bad Rider. So we're just gonna have to see where he goes to find his farm if the Alchemist is gonna be prioritized here.
Okay. Well, the go is getting called, and there's a lot of movements by these supports out. FY is not going to have his smoke broken, although Kaka did get his broken. So they might realize that this observer ward is placed over. Yeah, the pings are coming out immediately. They realize what's going on. And FY, they might realize that his observer ward also got placed down there. Yeah, Faith is in the area, and I wouldn't be surprised to see her drop Vengeful Spirit a quick little sentry. So a couple of wards potentially going to get taken out. It doesn't look like it's happened as of yet. This sentry ward is also blocking out the small camp, so they'll be able to get it, but I don't know if they'll know about the other one.
Oh no, Ghost, what are you doing? He didn't take greed when he took that ward. He didn't get that bonus gold.
Oh, what are you doing, buddy? That's not the play. Well, he'll take it now and get himself a little bounty rune. I remember watching one game a long time ago where an alchemist didn't take greed before he got the bounty rune. It was High Councils of Wizards and Priests. I couldn't remember which player it was, though. I remember it was a sad day.
That sounds like... Is that Mason, Demon, Brax, and them? I feel like that's what the team was.
I think it was. It was the team that Greg was the manager for.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember because he was casting it at the same time, and he was rather upset. But regardless about that, we're going to see the Ghost versus SC matchup here in mid. Need to be a little bit careful. Kaka already taken a lot of damage. Meanwhile, up top, what do you think about these lanes so far? I mean, you got the one-on-one down here bottom with KP facing off against the Bat Rider, but what do you think about top? Is this the lane where they need to be worried for U9?
This is definitely it's a really hard lane for them to fight into, because one cask and it's like, you know, you have a rocket barrage coming your way. It's just pretty difficult to fight against. So they have to. I don't actually know. I feel like this is a VG favored tri lane, at least until maybe like level 3 or so.
Oh, couple stuns going out there. U9 taking a little bit of chip damage, but nothing too serious as of yet. Man, Gyrocopter. We haven't seen this guy in a while. What's the big things that we need to be worried about for the side of Newbee as far as End's concerned? Like, can he find kills pretty early on here with that rocket barrage?
Well, he just has a lot of setup from his team. Like, you know, one cast between a couple of heroes, that's an easy call down, flat cannon, all that kind of stuff. You have the ET stun, which is also the same concept. You stun a bunch of people, you call down on top of it. It's like a really powerful combo. And it's also really strong in this tri lane, because when you have flat cannon, it means that you can always keep the lane pushed. And when the lane's pushed, it means that you can side pull, and you're just gonna out-level and out-farm your opponents by doing that.
Oh, and mid lane also, it's worth talking about. Ghost is having the time of his life so far. Already 12-0 at 2 minutes versus the 8-1 Invoker. And he has really been able to make this work for himself so far, just throwing out that acid spray.
Yeah, that's it's actually pretty surprising. I guess I underestimated how strong this matchup is for Alchemist. It just drops the acid, and it's so hard for the Invoker to fight into it.
Oh, but meanwhile, U9, Malik down onto him as well. Silence does go out, so they won't be able to chase it down too much, but it just goes to show how powerful that combo can be if you manage to find it. I guess the other thing we didn't talk about a ton is natural order in the context of the Gyrocopter's damage, since all of it is magical up to a point.
Yeah, I mean, ET is just, he's always going to be ET. That aura, that setup, everything about it is just so powerful. It's a really popular pick when it comes to dealing with Drow. So his team fight contribution is going to be immense. And it's going to be SFY playing it too, so I wouldn't doubt his capabilities.
Absolutely. Now more potential damage going in as every cask that flies out could be a kill. This lane, I just feel the tension sort of building in it, and sooner or later something's going to burst. Mid lane, still a bit of a farm fest, although SC might have found a kill here. Ghost in some trouble. Right-clicks Alacrity as well. He doesn't have another Invoke, though, so no Sunstrike, and maybe a little bit of overstepping his bounds. They go for... Oh, I thought they were going to go for the Stomp. They still might. No, not going to go for it. Instead, just trading hits here with SC. FY wants to get him. Looking for the kill. Can he find it? They do. First blood. Now turning on a Kaka. Not going to be able to get that one. But ET finds the first blood against the Invoker.
FY, God. What a play. That is such good recognition from him, knowing that he's going to outrun him and just maul him to death with his wind-lacing boots.
Well, and I felt like, oh, Ghost, oh, scary times, trying to juke back the other direction, and is going to pay for it. Kaka, very low, but not going to die. Oh, man. Very back and forth so far.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Ghost. He tried to juke the Sunray at that distance, which is pretty much impossible, by the way. When at that kind of angle, yeah, it's so easy for the Phoenix to just keep it on top of him.
Bat Rider might think that KP is not here. He does have another stun a little bit, but yeah, not going to go for it. We haven't talked a lot about this bottom lane, but the Bat Rider so far, 24 CS versus the 9 of KP. I mean, do you still think that Yang is going to need to get stacks for him, or is he getting enough out of this lane?
No, he's definitely going to get enough out of this lane. This was something I kind of overlooked when discussing, you know, his ability to get farm in this game, and this is just how they do it. This is why there's a tri lane up top, so that he could have this favorable matchup against the Slargar.
Man, it's really been a rough go so far, and it really does feel like Newbee's in a great position, but Sunray is going to try and keep be alive a little bit longer. Sunstrike finds onto Yang. They get that kill, and now KP is just going to be able to salve up and go right back to farming. What a great set of circumstances for them. Phoenix coming in the clutch.
Yeah, that was just really good play by Kaka, just understanding, you know what, if they're going to try anything, they're going to try bottom lane, I'm just going to wait here and turn things around. So it's really good heads-up play by Kaka there.
On FY, throws out the stomp, but Catch on to U9. Was rather close. Is going to be able to walk away from it. So, given that this laning stage has gone very heavily into Vici's favor, 1,500 net worth lead so far just out of laning, do Newbee have to be worried about this, or are they pretty confident with just their group up potential later?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're okay with. I mean, obviously you don't want this to happen. Oh, that thought. 2-9
just runs for him and is going to be able to find that kill. Man, easy as pie.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's rough for U9. Yeah, like I said, this is the run at you lineup that deals with draw very nicely. But like I was saying, Newbee, you don't want the laning phase to go super bad, but at the same time, they should be pretty confident in their ability to take team fights later on, because their lineup is really strong when it comes to team fights, but obviously still is VG's.
And Kaka is going to TP up towards this top lane now. He was going invis, and I was kind of thinking that he might be looking for a courier snipe if DDC was bringing something out to him, but nothing is going to be found there. And with the KP wraparound, going deep for DDC. Sunstrike as well. My God. As soon as he saw end there, he backs out, but does a good bit of damage before he leaves.
That was a really good play by KP, actually, recognizing what the Witch Doctor was trying to do.
Oh, and up
if
top.
He got the cast out for him.
Yang. Oh, so there's the catch magic missile. TP not going to be successful.
Oh, it's happening again. Stuff's happening all over the place.
I know, it's pretty quick. So you were saying that KP, he might have gotten killed if DDC was able to throw out a cast?
Yeah. If he cast right there, like the cooldown would have came down immediately, and it would have been dead KP, because I think Maledict would have come out too. But he understood, like, it seemed really strange for the Witch Doctor to be coming like that.
Yeah. Now Ghost now already with his Iron Talon completed, and it looks like he's going Midas as well. It's not something... I always forget, is that something that's pretty decent for the Alk to be picking up? Oh, he's going Armlet. Okay, I was wondering. It's going to be a little bit weird.
That's really greedy. I don't think I've seen something like that in a long time. Having an Alk by Midas. Oh man, he's farming Ancients now.
Yang
massive.
finds Kaka. Not going to go for him. Yeah, of course it was just an Armlet. I'm just silly. Don't mind me, guys. Well... The DD rune, he should be able to get that quickly. And what are you thinking as far as timing-wise for this stuff? Radiant's pretty soon?
Radiant's probably like 5 minutes or something. In 5 minutes. So 13 minutes roughly is normally when Alchemists finish their Radiance.
Okay. FY now. Currently still sitting in mid lane, trying to soak up whatever experience he possibly can. He's getting closer and closer to that level 6, while Invoker is getting closer to his Midas top lane. Thinking about going for something. He actually ended up dying to the neutral there in the Ancient stack, and U9 possibly going to go down. They drop the call down, gets the slow slightly. The Rocket Barrage is going to go out as well as the stun from the Witch Doctor, and this should be enough to kill off that Drow. And this laning stage has been a real problem. But I guess the fact that, Alchemists get killed there by those creeps, and now Newbee are going to be able to clean them up. Pretty good stuff.
That was really unfortunate by that Alchemist. Got a little too greedy. Died to the last hit before finishing his armlet so he could toggle and whatnot. It's really unfortunate for him.
He did finish off that armlet, obviously, and it's going to help a little bit, but yeah, you don't want to end up dying like that.
Sorry, he's an Alchemist. He'll rebound. I think he'll still hit that 13-14 minute mark for Radiance. So it's not the worst thing.
Okay. Well, Ghost, level 9. The rotation is going to come in, but this is just to try and finish off Roshan early. Got KP in the area for that amplified damage. We'll see if Vici realized that this is happening. Had they had a ward up on this high ground and they could have spotted Fate, they would have known, but yeah, it's just going down too quickly. There's no way that Vici come and check that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, do they? Oh my God, am I really... Okay, maybe they do go and check it, but I think the Roshan's gonna die before they can make anything happen. And yeah, SC, he just goes for the haste rune away and we'll be able to walk out.
Yeah, I mean, if you suspect a lineup like Newbee is gonna be doing Roshan, you have to...
Ghost, all right, Sunstrike again. KP is gonna get healed up slightly, so they aren't gonna find that kill.
Yeah, like I was saying, if you suspect lineup like Newbee is gonna be Roshing, you have to notice it really quickly because that Roshan died so fast at such an early stage.
Nicely done. Alan Ghost again in the mid lane, just trying to keep the Invoker off their tail, and he is now going to be in a little bit of trouble. Goes for the Ghost Walk. Is there any detection? Don't see it. There's still a lot of magical damage in the AoE. Oh man, they are gonna now spot him as the Sentry Ward comes in. Gonna maybe look for the deny. He's still just barely within range, and he is gonna fall. That's the Aegis gone. Nobody in the area to help him out, and I think that he also has Ghost Walk off cooldown, so yeah, SC is gone. Really nice kill there for Vici.
That's actually a really big kill for them, because now that Invoker doesn't have that Aegis, I don't think they'll be afraid at all to take the upcoming team fights. I really like watching and play these kind of carries. Like, he's super aggressive on his clinks, he's super aggressive on the gyrocopter now, so watching him walk around setting up kills for his team, it's really entertaining to watch.
Yeah, and you start to look now as well at the net worth swing. I mean, we're now just moving out of the laning phase, and it's starting to show how much Vici is really getting out of this. Ghost is now going to be able to put himself at, you know, close to his Radiance level. They throw out the stun from Ghost, which makes them use the sun. So Supernova committed to defend the bounty rune. Think that's worth?
I think worth. Yeah, I mean, it slowed him down. But if he got that bounty rune, that's his relic right there.
Oh, funny stuff. Well, Yang, he's just going to try and defend this top tower for a little bit. It looks like they should be able to finish it off, though. Kaka's taking a good bit of damage from it. And if he manages to get the flame break off, oh, it breaks the swoop. He's actually gone, I think. They pop the drum shards, are going to chase now, and Kaka is going to go down, but is he going to be for it? It doesn't look like it. This game has felt so weird. Alchemist dying to neutrals, they pop the sun to defend a bounty rune, and then Yang just finds a pick off there as, you know, the Kaka Phoenix was right-clicking the tower and not taking damage from it.
It's so unfortunate for him, too, because he would have lived if he had the egg.
That's true, yeah. Well,
Blink Dagger is up on KP now. I think they're gonna ramp it up a little bit here, because you do have an Exort Invoker. You can pretty much kill either of the supports with this, so they're definitely gonna make plays happen now.
Well, see if they can make it happen. As over towards the jungle, Yang is still farming away, and they might realize that this is happening. KP, oh, jumps possibly. Oh, did he get his blink canceled? Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. But I mean, luckily for them, they didn't commit a smoke to it, so they could still smoke and go again.
They've caught SC. He is going to go and take the Earth Splitter damage, but Silence came out onto the gyrocopter, and he wasn't able to chase down the Drow. So call down and Earth Splitter committed as mid lane. They do find the kill on the Witch Doctor. Phoenix is the one with the last hit.
Really good pick off. They need all the kills they can get right now, and the best part is they still haven't used a smoke to it. And also Kaka has a lot of gold. I didn't notice this, but he has a lot of gold. I think he should get a Midas at this stage.
That would be really great for them if they could. It feels like the game is. I guess here's the thing: is that whenever I look at these types of games, it's just not a ton of pressure being applied onto towers individually. It's kind of skirmishy, team fight, and then no objectives have really been taken across the map. I mean, Roche got taken that one time, but that was snuck. You got the tier 1 towers taken bottom as well as top, but it's felt very chaotic for both teams.
Well, let's see what Newbee does with this smoke.
Well, Radiance has now been picked up for the Alchemist. They're looking up in the top lane to see if they can find somebody. The wraparound will come towards mid, I would imagine. Can they fight here?
This is going to be kind of difficult because they're going to find out that Alchemist has Radiance, and I feel like it's really hard to fight into that.
Oh, that was a nice little blink away. Yang found him with the sticky napalm, so the war down, they don't end up finding any kills and are just going to have to back out. So the smoke gate doesn't result in anything, and looks like Vici are content with where they're at.
I think that was pretty good for Newbee. I think it would have been disastrous for them to fight there. They didn't know that Alchemist had Radiance at that point. and I think just using that smoke to figure that out is actually like pretty good in itself.
Okay. And considering that the Radiance is online, is that something that you need to be worried about now? Like, as far as taking a team fight, you said that it would be bad if they didn't know about it going into it, but can they still fight around that?
I think they definitely can fight around it, but you don't exactly want to fight them like the way they were about to fight them, which is like, you know, head on under their tower, and you know, you don't have vision and all that kind of stuff. You definitely want to initiate with your Slardar, pick someone off. If you successfully pick off like a really important hero, for example, a Bat Rider, a Gyro, or potentially even the Alchemist, then you take the team fight.
Oh, mid lane, Lasso drop down. They're going to be able to catch Mr. Faith, and a quick and easy pick off. I was wondering, there's like 4 heroes hanging out around mid for a long time for Vici. When they do finally decide to go, they catch the Vengeful Spirit. So this should ensure them the tier 1 tower. Kaka is still here. They drop out a Spirit behind him, and looks like that should be about it.
Middle tower has fallen.
This is looking really difficult for Newbee right now, though, because they're not really keeping this Alchemist in check.
Yeah. Is it worth... I mean, they've tried to go for a smoke gank for him before. I mean, is it just a matter of vision that they need to try and gain?
It's just that VG has like a lot of a really good has really good map control right now. So
Okay.
it's really hard for them to get anything going because Ghost just sees all of it coming.
Yeah, it's been a tough one indeed. And now with Boots of Travel online, I'm imagining the next step is going to be moving down towards that Manta style and just pushing up the lanes like a bastard. SC, Yule Scepter picked up for the Invoker. Can find pickoffs with this potentially. Is there anything for him that really is going to allow him to get it more? Do you think that like going for bots of his own is a good play, or possibly going back instead for something like a Blink Dagger to set it up?
No, I think he needs to bulk up. I think he should go for, like you said, Boots of Travel or Scepter or something like that. Helps him farm as well.
The Blink Dagger jump away from the KP Slardar ends up breaking the smoke gank that came out from Vici. And again, it's just, it feels like these teams are in each other's heads. They realize where their map movements are and constantly just trying to find some form of advantage. But the back movement here, KP might think about jumping on end. There's the Crush as well as the Sunstrike coming out, and they are going to be able to find that kill. 3 heroes in the area. Can they find anything from this? All right, they pull back Kaka. He does have Supernova if he can get it off, but we'll just die in turn.
Definitely worth it for Newbee killing off that Gyrocopter. I mean, Kaka, at least he doesn't have his Midas off cooldown, so.
He did end up going back for that Midas. It's nice, definitely.
Yeah, he had like 1,700 gold at such a, you know, at was it like 11 minutes or something. So buying Midas at that point is definitely worth it, especially as a Phoenix. You really, really want your levels.
Top tower is under attack.
Vici are still staying at about that 500 gold lead, or 5,000 gold lead, with right around 1,000 experience lead going towards Newbee. But as these items start to mount up for Alchemists, it does feel like eventually they're going to have to make a move. Do you think that it's Newbee just not feeling super comfortable going after him, or they just don't have good idea of where he is on the map?
No, I think right now, if I were Newbee, I would feel like, you know what? I think we can beat him in a farming game. Okay. So we're just going to do that. Because, I mean, if you look at Newbee, they have 2 Midases. Your Drow is not doing particularly bad by any means. He's going for a farming build too. He picked up the point booster. He's going to have, you know, Scepter. I guess they're just confident in their ability to take this game slowly and win in the late game.
Maybe they just want to see that Gyrocopter ags as bad as we do. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, keep on farming away. 3 Midases, not really being punished for it. Does this mean that there's a timing in particular that they're going to hit that they're really strong at? Or is it just throughout the whole point in time in the game they're going to probably be feeling comfortable going late?
Oh, sorry, there are 3 Midases. I didn't even notice. But yeah, you're right. I mean, this is probably why they're comfortable farming. If you look at the gold lead for VG, you have an Alchemist and you're only 2.5k ahead. That's actually nothing.
Huh.
So they're definitely feeling confident in their ability to just keep up this level of farm. And if you're kind of like evenly matched in terms of net worth against an alchemist, you're definitely in a good position.
I guess that's the thing is also a lot of the net worth of this alchemist is going to be, or a lot of the net worth of the Radiant as a whole is going to be tied up in the alchemist. It's kind of that Naga Siren effect. So possibly if this goes to like maybe around that 40-minute mark, you can start to have like all of the heroes of Newbee who are just a little bit behind that alch, and it could end up working. I don't know. It's tough to question. I guess I'm still just so concerned about that, you know, Manta style Octarine, AC knocking on their front door of the tier 3 towers, but we'll see if Newbee are right to be comfortable with this.
Well, we're not going to see that anytime soon because he did pick up a Blink Dagger.
Oh. Okay. Interesting. So what does this tell you about the game? He's trying to fight?
I mean, it's a good fighting item, but at the same time, it's also a really good farming item. I mean, it's not as good as a Manta for sure, but it definitely helps you with on both aspects. I don't know, maybe a preference thing.
Okay. It's very weird. This both of these games that we've watched have felt very different from what I've been used to seeing, even out of these individual teams. Like, I watched a lot of Newbee games, and it seems like they're switching things up a little bit, and Vici gaming potentially as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I mean, it makes sense, right? You fight money with money. Fight 3 minuses, no problem.
Radiant scan, realized that there were a couple of heroes there, and now we're probably lean. Ghost might feel more comfortable in this. And it looks like finally Newbee are going to group up together, go for another smoke play. Does this bear fruit? As the Midas SC heads off towards the Roche pit. Yeah, it's just going to be for a Roche.
I don't think VG are going to contest this either. It's not going to be fast enough even if they do.
Jeez. Yeah, it drops so quickly. My goodness. They are going to throw in the ET Stomp, and that'll catch at least on the Invoker, but that just tells them that they know where he is. FY maybe in a little bit of trouble. They're chasing the Spirit back, looking for the Stomp. They find it. Oh, FY, a little unfortunate there, and he is going to be punished for it. I was about as well as he could have tried to play it, but they find him.
FY is trying to tip the scales. Bought his own Midas too. This is some TI. Was it 3? I think it was TI 3. Is just Midases everywhere.
Maybe this is a great game. You love to see that type of stuff. Drow Ranger has her Ags completed too. Does that count as a Midas? I feel like it should.
Yeah, I mean, just pew pew. Whole wave's gone. So this is one of the best farming items you can get on Drow Ranger, especially after you pick up that Maelstrom.
And for you, is that just the item of choice? Probably you don't really even need to worry about too much else.
Yeah, I mean, there's like not many people utilizing that your aura. I mean, it definitely helps for laning phase, but in terms of right-clicking power, it's just gonna be you and the Invoker. Okay. And Invoker isn't even going for that right-click build, realistically speaking. So just get Scepter, get Mjolnir, see lightning fly everywhere.
Absolutely. Well, she even has a Quelling Blade. Not something that you often see.
A soldier's fortune.
I don't know. What's the reasoning behind this Quelling Blade? It's just she likes killing trees?
No, but I mean, people often overlook Quelling Blade's bonus damage on creeps. It's obviously not a melee Quelling Blade, right? Where it's 140%.
Yeah.
It's only 115%. But that 15% actually speeds up your farming potential by quite a lot.
Okay.
So it's often like worthwhile picking up Quelling Blade on range carries like Luna and Drow, and even like what's another good one? Gyro, Morphling, like all these kind of range carry heroes. I think they're worth.
Oh, Deja Vu SC caught again with his Aegis, and they are going to all rotate in to try and help him out this time. Yule Scepter lift up. He's not on the cliff. The turnaround end is going to get caught with the Crush as well as Yang. The Supernova goes in the midst of all of them. They do lose their Aegis, but now Ghost trying to man up against the Yang. He might have been able to find it right there. Ice Wall onto 2 as well as the Silence coming out. This is a hell of a lot of damage, and I think that Ghost might go down. He is dropping fairly low, and they do find the kill. 4 gone from Vici. Newbee take a huge one, and looking even for the Sunstrike onto DDC. He thinks that he's going to be able to walk away from this one, but Oh my god, is he actually just going to be able to get away? Are you kidding me? They're pinging. Yeah, he's gone. That would have been a huge juke, but nicely played. 5 gone. Newbee, take advantage.
The power of the Midas. They have the levels and the money to fight this alchemist.
Apparently, it's good stuff.
Radiant's bottom tower
Wow.
is under attack.
Well, after what was a very long last game that ended kind of crazy, Newbee are already looking to take a huge advantage in this one.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that ages like that was like the ideal situation for them. It looked kind of bad for them, but
Radiant's
SCCC
middle
he
tower has fallen.
bought his team enough time to set up for the turnaround with his separate. By the time his Aegis was back.
And now ZYF in the bottom lane got crushed. KP is very low. He does need to be a little bit careful, but here comes the turnaround, and they're going to be able to keep him alive. Meanwhile, the rest of the side of Vici Gaming is here. Oh, good silence from U9. Make sure that they're not going to be able to find that Sunstrike coming through. Not going to connect, but the swap back is going to be able to pull him in, and there's DDC gone. 3 again dead from Vici. Newbee just unloading.
The snowball effect is coming in.
This is starting to feel very difficult for Vici Gaming to deal with, and I gotta wonder, did Newbee just find the answer to Alchemist? You just out-farm him?
Just out farm them. I mean, they weren't just obviously they weren't just like farming, right? KP set up a few kills here and there, and once again, that presence, of you being off the map, you have to just be really cautious of, and because of that, you're not going to farm, freely.
What a great set of affairs, and the drop-off that comes after the fact is huge. There's going to be a very steep dive in those graphs. Well, as far as how they take the game from this point, for Newbee, do they need to try and play more defensively at all? Can they try and get very aggressive and take the top tier 3 tower as well after regenning up and getting their next set items?
I think they are more than capable of right now. They just built such a strong lead. There's very little chances for VG to make a comeback because they don't exactly have the kind of comeback potential for team fights like Newbee did last game, where you have the Chrono and all that kind of Chrono mainly. Chrono pretty much won the game at the end. But VG only have a Bat Rider and an ET for that kind of wombo combo play, so to say. So unless ET stomps 3 or 4 people, it's going to be really hard for Newbee, or for them to fight Newbee.
Well, it is definitely feeling pretty great for them right now, and Jar Ranger's going to be able to finish off the Hurricane Pike. You've got the Shiva's card now picked up for the Phoenix, and this is what I was talking about earlier, I guess, is that, I mean, even though the Alk is still up by about 5,000 net worth, as a whole, you've got look at the next set of heroes that are coming up. The Slardar is almost caught up with the Gyrocopter at this point. It just does not feel like they need it.
I mean, that's just how, the Alchemist lineup functions. Like you said, he has that Naga presence, right? He's just all over the place taking everything he can. And it leaves your team with very little in the end.
Alright. Well, Vici trying to stall to the best of their abilities. Tier 3 tower is in the sights of Newbee, and they could go for their play. We also have the Maelstrom picked up for the Drow after the Hurricane Pike was already taken as well. It doesn't feel like they're too keen on trying to pressure too heavily, at least.
I mean, I think they're just feeling themselves in a pretty comfortable position, so they might as well not take any risks. Take control of the map, farm whatever they can, keep them, hold up in their base, and then you just wait for Roshan, and then you just do the same thing again.
Okay. Well, as far as the side of Vici is concerned, it's been a rough go so far. Is there any way to really stop doing what they're doing, or do they need to try and switch up their farm priority some to get Gyrocopter or something?
They just have to do their best to make plays happen with this Bat Rider. They have to catch people out of position when they're farming, because as Newbee, you have so much map control. You want to, utilize that and farm efficiently. And in order to farm efficiently, you have to, farm in different areas. So VG just have to try to make pickoffs happen when they split off just even a little bit.
And they're getting ready to go for something here. FY in the area, as is Yang. Blink Dagger is available. They do not spot out anybody as of yet. They see everybody's here looking for the stomp. They catch on to Kaka, but the counter initiation is there as well as the swap. Oh, this is going to be pretty bad. Well, a nice Earth Splitter catches on to 2. They've also got the stuns. Witch Doctor Ultimate going out. They kill off U9. They did find a really nice Supernova, though, and that is going to be 2 dead on the side of Vici Gaming, but it might be enough where Vici can think about going for it. Oh, Ghost, he wasn't able to get the stun off. And Kaka gets a triple on his Phoenix. Man, what great positioning.
That was really good response from Newbee, but that was one of the best team fights you can ask for as VG. Like, I would definitely chalk that up as victory for VG.
Oh, jumps forward. Etsy! Is Ghost going to get him? They actually had the ward there, so they spot him out. And that is a huge kill.
There's that Blink Dagger coming into play.
Oh,
the aggressive style for Alchemist.
He talked about it. He needed to do something, and he's making it work. Oh, God, those spirits, though. Kaka is just keeping him off of this tower. That is so frustrating. It will finally fall, but it's a nice little play there.
Every time I mention anyone having a lead and being in control, this always happens.
Well, I think it's okay. Oh, my God. Witch Doctor just took the bounty rune. Is that worthy of a report for you?
No, I think it's fine. I don't think the Alchemist he's probably just like, whatever, just take it. I'm gonna go farm bottom anyways. It's not worth his time going all the way over there to pick it up.
Yeah. Fair enough. He's gonna send out those mid-style illusions, try and get whatever farm he possibly can. They do have a creep in the Roche pit, so this will scout out that the big guy is up and ready to go. Will they be able to take it in time though? Newbee. Amp damage the Roche, and I would imagine that Vici realizes it's happening.
Another thing to point out too is
oh, they've caught KP though, and now they went forward with Ghost. Icewall is dropped. He's in a lot of trouble. They do bring down the Slardar, but is it going to be enough? They drop the Supernova as well. Yang on the high ground. He's going to die. Gem is left up there as well. They're chasing after End, looking for the kill. They get the Deafening Blast, but stun comes out as well as the Ghost Walk SC means that they're not going to be able to go on to him any further. Ghost is dropping low. He is going to still be able to live. He gets the Armlet toggle off, still trying to do it. He finally falls. Drow Ranger gets the kill, but they take down the Drow in turn. So KP looking for the counter initiation play, buyback by the Alchemist. Newbee, I think, won that fight with the buyback. Can Vici come and contest?
oh wait, it's well, I mean, I think it's fairly even because your Alchemist bought back too. The only person who bought back from Newbee was Slardar. That actually would have been, or potentially could have been, terrible for Newbee if Kaka didn't get off his Supernova. He was like 1 hit away from dying, but he got off his Supernova, and it was inside the pit too, so they couldn't really see him, and that just turned the fight around.
Kaka realizes that the gem is up on the high ground as well. He might try and go for a swoop play to see if he can get it, but don't know if he will. Meanwhile, they're just trying to kill off these illusions. Oh, Ghost. He has his Blink Dagger off cooldown in a couple of seconds. Might go for it. Instead, he's just going to go for Roche. Tornado lift up. Sunstrike. EMP. Counter Yules by Yang. He's taking the cold snap damage, and now jumps forward again, lifted in the air. Ghost Walk is down, or Ice Wall is down. Newbee trying to walk out of there. This is a very chaotic team fight again. Faith has found Yang. Yang is up on the high ground now, trying to de-ward so they can't kill him off. He is finally going to drop though. What
that
is
was so
happening?
Important for Newbee. If Newbee lost Kaka there.
Oh, FY's gone though, and now they jump back in with the Alchemist looking for SC. Faith is dropping low, End is on top of him. I think U9's actually dead here. Oh, they've got the egg out though, and they're trying to turn back onto it. Oh, really good Deafening Blast, disarming the Alchemist. Now he's left alone. Cold Snap is going to be there. He might end up saying himself. He ends up getting silenced and brought down. That's a dieback for Alk. I think now they're going to be able to finally take Roshan. And Kaka's looking for DDC as well. He does have the spirits. The right clicks are going. He has Shiva's Guard in a little while. I think that he's just dead. Sunstrike, 4 step forward. All right, DDC escapes again.
Dude, Kaka is putting the team on his back. Like, if like once again, same issue as last time. He was so close to dying. He had like 15 life or something, and oh,
Good game gets called. SC TP to the creeps. There was no way. Oh man, what a game.
Kaka died there. Like, there's no way Newbee is gonna win that team fight, but because he survives, like Newbee is able to re-engage and take that team fight.
Oh, Kaka Dota 2. He made it look easy. Eosin, Newbee win the first game in crazy fashion. Game number 2, they just kind of, it didn't feel like they were ever worried about the way that the game was going. What do you think about this series?
I think after seeing this series, I would definitely say that, as expected, I mean, I kind of had Newbee as the favor team to win this matchup, and I think after watching those 2 games, it kind of shows why that is. And Newbee just had a really solid game plan all like through and through, and followed through, executed well, and just took 2 games in a convincing fashion.
Well, we're going to be back in just a little while with the winner of the series now, Newbee, who are going to face off against ehome. I believe that's the next one. So stick around, everybody. More great Dota 2 action is going to be coming up shortly. Shanghai Dota 2 Open number 2. It's taking place in the lovely and wonderful Shanghai. As said in the name, I'm Lyrical, joined as well by Eosin. Follow us on Twitter at Lyrical Dota, at Eosin Dota, and we will be back in just a little bit with what I believe is Newbee versus ehome. See you guys then.